Harry, can I ask you a question?
Of course. Go ahead.
Have you ever waited for someone to change your life?
Honestly, yes. I used to believe that one day the right teacher, the right opportunity, or the right moment would magically appear.
And did it?
Not at all. I kept saying, I'll start tomorrow. Then tomorrow became next week, and next week became next month.
I think many of our listeners know exactly what that feels like.
It's easy to believe that we're waiting for the perfect time. But sometimes we're actually just avoiding the first step.
That's a powerful thought.
It is. And the strange thing is, we usually don't realize we're doing it.
Today, we're going to explore an idea that might sound a little uncomfortable at first.
It's only 4 words.
No one will help you.
When I first heard that sentence, I thought, wow, that sounds cold.
I had the same reaction.
But then I realized it wasn't saying that people don't care.
Exactly. Your family may encourage you.
Your teachers may guide you.
Your friends may support you.
This podcast can even give you useful English and practical advice.
But there's one thing nobody can do for you.
They can't take action on your behalf.
Nobody can practice English for you.
Nobody can build your confidence for you.
Nobody can create your future for you.
That responsibility belongs to you.
And don't worry, this isn't going to be one of those episodes that simply tells you to work harder.
Instead, we'll share a relatable story.
Learn useful English expressions.
Practice through a real-life conversation.
And discover why taking one small action today is more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment.
So wherever you're listening, from home, on the bus, at work, or during a walk,
relax, listen carefully,
and let's begin today's conversation.
Harry, let's start with a simple question. Why do so many people keep waiting before they take action?
That's interesting. I don't think most people are lazy. I think they're afraid.
Afraid of what?
Afraid of failing. Afraid of looking foolish. And sometimes afraid of discovering that they're not as good as they hoped.
I think that's especially true for English learners.
Absolutely. Have you noticed how often people say, I'll start speaking when my English gets better?
Yes, and there's a problem with that sentence.
Exactly. How can your speaking become better if you never speak?
It's like waiting to become fit before going to the gym.
Or waiting to become a good swimmer before getting into the water.
It doesn't work that way.
Real improvement always begins with imperfect action.
I love that phrase, imperfect action.
Me too. Because many people believe they need perfect knowledge before they begin.
But perfection is usually the result of practice, not the starting point.
Let me ask you something, Daisy.
Go ahead.
When children learn to speak their first language, do they wait until they know perfect grammar?
Not at all. They make hundreds of mistakes every single day.
Exactly.
They pronounce words incorrectly.
They use the wrong grammar.
Sometimes they even invent their own words.
And somehow, nobody tells them to stop speaking until they're perfect.
Instead, people encourage them to keep talking.
That's how language is learned.
Unfortunately, adults often do the opposite.
We become our own biggest critics.
We worry about every mistake before anyone else even notices it.
Here's a useful expression you'll hear in everyday English. Take the first step.
It simply means to begin, even when you don't have everything figured out.
For example, the hardest part of learning English is taking the first step.
Or, once you take the first step, the next one becomes much easier.
Let's practice together.
Take the first step.
Again?
Take the first step.
Throughout today's episode, you'll discover that success rarely begins with confidence.
More often, confidence begins with the decision to take that very first step. Harry, let me ask you something.
Sure.
Have you ever met someone who always talks about their dreams, but never seems to make any progress?
Oh, yes. In fact, I used to be that person.
Really?
Absolutely. I loved making plans. I'd watch motivational videos, buy new notebooks, download language learning apps, and tell myself, this time I'm serious.
That sounds familiar.
The funny thing is, planning made me feel productive.
But planning and progress aren't always the same thing.
Exactly. I was preparing to learn instead of actually learning.
That's an important difference.
Looking back, I realized I spent more time organizing my study schedule than studying.
I think many people have done that at least once.
Probably more than once.
So, what changed?
One evening, I asked myself a simple question.
What was it?
If I keep doing exactly what I'm doing today, where will I be 1 year from now?
That's a powerful question.
And honestly, I didn't like the answer.
Why not?
Because I knew nothing would change. I'd still be waiting for confidence. I'd still be saying, I'll start tomorrow.
Sometimes the hardest truth is the one we already know.
Exactly. That night, I decided to stop making perfect plans and start taking small actions.
What was the first action?
It was surprisingly simple. I spoke English for 5 minutes before going to bed.
Just 5 minutes?
Just 5 minutes. No special app, no expensive course, no perfect environment.
What did you talk about?
I described my day. I talked about what I ate, what I learned, and what I wanted to do the next day.
Were you making mistakes?
All the time.
Did that bother you?
At first, yes. But then I realized something.
What was it?
Every mistake meant I was actually using English. And that's much better than staying silent because you're afraid of being wrong.
I completely agree.
A week later, speaking for 5 minutes felt easy.
So, what did you do?
I increased it to 10 minutes.
Slowly and naturally.
Exactly. I wasn't trying to become fluent overnight. I was simply building a habit.
And habits are much more powerful than short bursts of motivation.
That's the lesson I'd like every listener to remember today.
Dreams are important,
Plans are useful
but neither of them can replace action.
because the moment you stop waiting,
Is the moment real progress begins. Harry, I'd like to share a story that perfectly matches today's topic.
I always enjoy these stories because they feel real.
This one is about a woman named Emma. She had been learning English for almost 4 years.
4 years is a long time.
It is. She understood grammar, knew a lot of vocabulary, and could watch English videos without too much difficulty.
So what was the problem?
She almost never spoke.
That's something many learners struggle with.
Emma believed she needed to become good enough before speaking to real people.
I hear that excuse all the time.
One day, she was traveling alone in another country. After arriving at the train station, she looked at the departure board.
Let me guess. Her train wasn't there.
Exactly. The platform had changed, but she didn't understand the announcement.
That must have been stressful.
Very stressful. She looked around, hoping someone would notice that she was confused.
Did anyone come to help?
No, everyone was busy catching their own trains.
So she had a choice.
Right. She could keep standing there, or she could ask for help.
Which one did she choose?
She walked to the information desk and said, "Excuse me, could you please help me? I think I missed the announcement."
That's a simple sentence.
Yes, but saying it took a lot of courage.
What happened next?
The station employee smiled and explained everything slowly.
Did Emma understand?
Most of it. When she didn't understand one word, she politely asked, "Could you say that again, please?"
That's exactly what confident speakers do.
That's the interesting part.
What do you mean?
Emma wasn't confident before she started speaking.
Her confidence grew during the conversation.
Exactly.
So the conversation itself became the teacher.
That's a beautiful way to describe it.
Many people think confidence comes first.
But in reality, confidence usually comes after taking action.
Emma caught her train that day.
More importantly, she caught something even more valuable.
What was that?
The realization that she didn't need perfect English.
She only needed the courage to start.
And once she understood that, speaking English stopped feeling like an impossible challenge.
It simply became another conversation.
That's the lesson behind today's story.
Nobody could ask that question for Emma.
But the moment she asked it herself,
Everything started to change.
Harry, before we continue, let's look at some English expressions we've naturally used so far.
Great idea. Learning vocabulary inside a conversation is much easier than memorizing long word lists.
Exactly. And these are expressions you'll hear in everyday English.
Our first expression is take action.
It simply means to do something instead of only thinking or talking about it.
For example, I spent months making plans, but nothing changed until I took action.
Or if you want to improve your English, you have to take action.
Let's repeat it together.
Take action.
Excellent.
Our second expression is make an excuse.
This means giving a reason for not doing something.
For example, I was making excuses instead of practicing English.
We all make excuses sometimes.
The important thing is to recognize them and move forward.
Everyone, repeat after us.
Don't make excuses.
Very good.
Now, here's an expression you'll hear from native speakers all the time. One step at a time.
It means you don't need to solve everything today.
Just focus on the next small step.
For example, don't worry about becoming fluent. Learn one step at a time.
Or improve your English one step at a time.
Let's practice.
One step at a time.
One more time.
One step at a time.
Did you notice something about these expressions?
They're all connected.
First, stop making excuses.
Then, take action.
And keep moving.
One step at a time.
That's not only good English.
It's also a great way to learn any new skill. Harry, let's do a role play.
Perfect. I know our listeners enjoy these because they can imagine themselves in the conversation.
Exactly. Here's the situation. You've just joined a new company, and it's your first lunch break. A few coworkers are sitting together, chatting in English.
That sounds exciting and a little scary.
You want to join the conversation, but you're worried your English isn't good enough.
I think many of our listeners have felt that way.
Let's see what happens. Hi, you're new here, right?
Yes, it's my first week.
Welcome to the team. We're talking about hobbies. Would you like to join us?
Sure, I'll try.
Great. So, what do you usually do after work?
Well, I usually play football with my friends on weekends. During the week, I like reading books or watching documentaries.
That sounds interesting. How long have you been playing football?
Since I was about 10 years old. It's my favorite way to relax.
Nice. Do you support a particular team?
Of course. I never miss their important matches.
That's great. Maybe we should watch a game together sometime.
I'd love that.
See? That conversation felt completely natural.
You're right. And something interesting happened.
What was that?
At the beginning, I was thinking about every grammar rule.
And by the end?
I wasn't thinking about grammar anymore. I was simply talking.
That's exactly how real conversations work.
When your attention moves from, am I speaking correctly, to, what do I want to say, speaking becomes much easier.
Let's learn another useful expression.
Today's expression is join in.
Join in means to become part of an activity or conversation.
For example, everyone was laughing, so I decided to join in.
Or, don't just listen to English conversations. Join in whenever you have the chance.
Let's practice together.
I'll join in the conversation.
Again.
I'll join in the conversation.
Daisy, can I share one piece of advice?
Of course.
The next time you hear people speaking English, don't wait for someone to invite you every time.
Smile.
Say hello.
Ask a simple question.
Or share a short opinion.
Remember, conversations don't become easier because you avoid them.
They become easier because you keep having them.
And one day, you'll realize something.
Speaking English no longer feels like a challenge.
It simply feels natural. Harry, we've listened to stories, learned useful expressions, and even practiced a real conversation.
Now it's time for our listeners to become part of today's episode.
Exactly. Remember, English is a skill, and skills only improve when you use them.
Don't worry if your English isn't perfect.
In fact, don't even think about perfection right now.
Just focus on speaking.
Ready for your first challenge?
Here we go.
Imagine you've just met someone at an international event.
They smile and ask, "Hi, can you tell me a little about yourself?"
How would you answer?
Try to speak for about 30 seconds.
Mention your name,
Where you're from,
what you do.
and one hobby you really enjoy.
Great job.
Even if you stopped for a moment, that's completely normal.
Here's challenge number 2.
Complete this sentence using your own words.
The biggest reason I want to improve my English is...
I like this challenge because every listener will have a different answer.
Some people want a better job.
Others want to travel,
Some want to study abroad.
and many simply want to speak with confidence.
Now for our final challenge.
Look around the room you're in right now.
Choose any object.
It could be your phone,
Your bag,
your desk.
or even your cup of coffee.
Describe it in English for 1 minute.
Talk about its color,
Its size,
why you use it.
and why it's important to you.
That exercise may sound simple,
But it's one of the best ways to improve your fluency.
because you're learning to think in English instead of translating every sentence.
Harry, what if someone forgets a word while speaking?
That's perfectly okay.
Don't stop the conversation.
Describe the word instead.
Native speakers do that too.
The goal isn't to know every word.
The goal is to keep communicating.
Every time you complete a challenge like this,
You're proving to yourself that you can speak English.
and confidence grows from those small victories. Harry, we've talked a lot about taking action, but I think some listeners are wondering, what should I actually do every day?
That's a great question. The good news is that you don't need a complicated study plan.
You don't?
Not at all. In fact, simple habits are usually easier to follow than complicated ones.
So if someone has only 15 or 20 minutes a day, how should they use that time?
I divide it into 3 small parts.
Tell us more.
First, spend 5 minutes listening to natural English.
That could be a podcast, a short video, or even a conversation like this one.
Exactly. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Focus on the main idea.
What's next?
Spend another 5 minutes speaking out loud.
Even if you're speaking alone?
Especially if you're speaking alone. Describe your day, your plans, or something you can see around you.
And the last 5 minutes?
Review a few new words or expressions, then use each one in your own sentence.
I like that because you're not just memorizing vocabulary.
Right, you're actually using it.
That makes it much easier to remember.
Here's another useful expression, stick to.
Native speakers use this all the time.
Stick to means to continue doing something consistently without giving up.
For example, if you stick to your daily practice, you'll improve much faster.
Or, I'm going to stick to my study routine this month.
Let's practice together.
I will stick to my daily routine.
Again.
I'll stick to my daily routine.
Harry, I think many people believe they need more motivation.
Maybe, but I think they need something even more important.
What's that? I agree.
Motivation changes from day to day.
Some mornings you'll feel excited.
Other days, you won't feel like studying at all.
But if you've built a habit,
You'll practice anyway.
and those ordinary practice sessions are often the ones that make the biggest difference.
Because real progress doesn't come from one amazing day.
It comes from showing up again and again.
That's how small daily habits eventually become big results.
Harry, after everything we've talked about today, I think there's one question every listener should ask themselves.
What's that?
If I continue doing exactly what I'm doing today, where will my English be 1 year from now?
That's a powerful question because it forces us to be honest.
Exactly. Sometimes we say we want to improve, but our daily habits tell a different story.
That's true. We often judge ourselves by our intentions.
But life usually judges us by our actions.
I remember something a teacher once told me.
What did they say?
You don't become fluent because you want to. You become fluent because you practice consistently.
I really like that.
At first, I thought I needed more talent.
And now?
Now I realize I simply needed more practice.
That's an important difference.
Talent might help someone learn a little faster.
But consistency helps almost everyone improve.
Exactly.
So if you're listening today, don't compare yourself with someone who's been learning English for 5 or 10 years.
Compare yourself with the person you were last month.
Can you understand a little more?
Can you speak a little longer?
Can you remember more vocabulary than before?
If the answer is yes, then you're already moving in the right direction.
Progress isn't always dramatic.
Sometimes it's so small that you don't notice it from one day to the next.
But after a few months, you suddenly realize you're understanding conversations that once seemed impossible.
Or you're speaking with much less hesitation.
That's why patience is so important.
Don't quit just because results aren't immediate.
Keep learning.
Keep speaking.
Keep believing that every small effort matters.
Because one day, you'll look back.
And realize that the small steps you almost ignored became the biggest reason for your success. Harry, we've reached the final part of today's discussion, so let's take a moment to look back at everything we've learned.
I like doing this because a quick recap helps us remember the most important ideas.
At the beginning of the episode, we introduced a sentence that sounded quite serious.
No one will help you.
But after today's conversation, I don't think it sounds negative anymore.
Neither do I.
We discovered that it doesn't mean you're completely alone.
It means that no one can replace your own effort.
Your teacher can explain grammar.
Your friends can encourage you.
Podcasts like this can help you learn useful English.
But none of those things matter if you never use what you've learned.
That's why today's message is really about responsibility.
And it's also about freedom.
Freedom?
Yes, because when you realize your progress depends on your actions, you don't have to wait for the perfect teacher, the perfect course, or the perfect time.
You can begin today.
Exactly.
We also learned that mistakes aren't signs of failure.
They're signs that you're actually learning.
We practiced useful expressions like take action, join in, and stick to.
More importantly, we learned how to use them in real conversations instead of simply memorizing them.
We listened to a story about someone who stopped waiting and finally started speaking.
We practiced a role play that showed how a simple conversation can build confidence.
And we even challenged ourselves to speak English out loud.
That's the part I hope everyone remembers.
Because listening improves your understanding.
But speaking transforms your confidence.
So if you remember only one sentence from today's episode, let it be this.
Don't wait until you feel ready. Start and you'll become ready along the way.
I think that's the perfect summary.
Me too.
Before we finish today's episode, we'd like to leave you with one simple challenge.
We call it the 24-hour action challenge.
Within the next 24 hours, do one thing you've been postponing in English.
It could be introducing yourself in English,
Recording your voice for 1 minute,
starting a conversation with a friend,
or simply speaking to yourself while describing your day.
Don't worry about making mistakes.
Just make sure you take action.
We'd also love to hear from you.
Leave a comment and tell us which action you completed.
Reading your stories is one of the best parts of creating this podcast.
Your experience might also encourage another learner who's still afraid to begin.
And if today's episode helped you, share it with someone who's waiting for the perfect time to start learning English.
You never know. This conversation could be exactly the motivation they need today.
Keep practicing.
Keep believing in yourself.
And remember,
Every small step you take today becomes part of your confidence tomorrow. Well, Harry, we've reached the end of today's episode.
we have, and I hope everyone listening leaves with one simple idea.
Don't wait for someone else to change your life.
Take the first step yourself.
Your English won't improve overnight.
But every conversation, every new word, and every minute of practice brings you closer to your goal.
So be patient with yourself.
Celebrate your progress, even if it feels small.
Small improvements repeated every day eventually become something extraordinary.
We'd like to thank you for spending part of your day with us.
We truly appreciate every listener who chooses to learn English together with us.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to follow English Vibe Podcast so you never miss a new episode.
Every week, we'll help you build confidence through real conversations, practical vocabulary, and everyday English you can actually use.
Until next time,
Keep learning.
keep speaking.
Keep believing in yourself.
And remember,
The future you're hoping for begins with the actions you take today.
thanks for listening.
Take care, everyone.
Bye. We'll see you in the next episode.